God, oh. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's episode, we'll be discussing how to create an effective action plan. So if you're new to this channel, please introduce yourselves. I would like to know you and I'd like to meet you. Where are you watching from? What part of the world are you tuning in from? And if you're a returning subscriber, I love you guys. Thank you for your massive love and incredible support to your girl. Without further ado, let me also go ahead and introduce myself while you do the same thing. So my name is Miriam. I'm based here in California. I'm a wife, a mom, a student, an entrepreneur. I'm also a fashion designer, and on this channel, I share 3 grants video every week, 3 grants videos every week. So if you're looking for free money for your small businesses, for your non-profit organization, minority grants, and all kinds of grants, you can find them on my channel. But on Sundays like this, it's all about personal development. So today, if you have been struggling, or you are one of those people that struggles to bring your goals to life, today I'm discussing how to create an effective action plan. So guys, come with me. Let's go. Do not forget to introduce yourselves. Like I said, I would like to know you and I'd like to know where in the world are you tuning in from. So yes, let's get right into today's business, how to create an effective action plan. So guys, the first thing I would say is to get clear on what you want. I cannot overemphasize this, and personally, this is something I'm speaking from experience. Yes. So whenever I want to achieve anything, I always have a clear goal. I have clear set written goals. I have a mental picture of where I'm going. So it's not like I'm not sure what I want to do, or this is how I want to go about it. I already know what I want. What's next is to make that dream happen, is to make that goal happen. So are you someone that actually struggles? Have you been procrastinating? Have you been deferring? Have you been struggling to just make just one goal happen? In today's video, in today's live stream, I will be sharing the tips and strategies that actually helps me, to create effective action plans. Yes. So yes, first thing is, if it's something that costs money, how much do you want to, do you intend to spend on this project? If it's a project that, requires money, how much money do you want to spend? How do you intend to raise the funds, if at all it's something that, needs funding? If it's a personal goal, like it's a maybe health or fitness, or something that doesn't really have to do with money, right? And there are ways to, and let me see, life is not as complicated as a lot of people begin to see it. Some people prefer to go for very expensive, maybe they want to go for weight loss, they want to lose weight. It's just an example. They want to lose weight, they're looking for what's it called, this liquid powder, yeah, that they have to mix into water, and sometimes this thing costs a fortune. And you can actually lose weight by just not eating or eating the right things, and it's easier, simpler, cost less money, and of course you're sure what you're eating, you're taking, unlike when you have to spend money on these supplements, in quotes, these what's it called, powder, protein powder, whatever it is. So yes, today we'll be talking about how to actually create an effective an action plan that actually works for real. Like I said, you have to get clear on what you want, because clarity is the most important single quality of goal setting. So you need to know exactly, be clear on what exactly you want. In fact, I would call it the single most important quality of success. It's the most important quality of success, knowing exactly what you want. It's like wanting to get married. It's like wanting to, find a life partner. You know for sure that you don't want to remain single for the rest of your life. You want to find a life partner. It's just an example, and you want to get clear on the kind of person. What kind of partner are you looking for? Is it someone that you share the same values with, or is it just a random person? Or are you just looking for a vanity metrics, like, oh, you want a tall person, you want money, you want this? Or are you looking at the values that you guys share together? Because honestly, in a long and even in the short run, the values matter. If it's someone that doesn't believe in education, if it's someone that doesn't believe in certain things that you hold in high esteem, then it's going to be a friction at the end of the day. So you need to get clear on what exactly you want, in who you want to get married to. That's just an example. Like I said, I talked about fitness, and I also talked about, maybe you want to start a business and you need funding. So what exactly is your goal? You need to set your goal. You need to know exactly what you want. Like, you need to know it. Maybe you want to, change jobs in 6 months, in the next 6 months, or you want to change your line of career or your line of business, you need to get clear on what exactly you want to do and then begin to work towards it. I'll tell you something. So I recently built a new business. I'm always evolving. I built a new business and I know where I'm going. I have a mental picture of where I'm going, right? And I'm already working. It's a lot of work. But mentally, I am ready. I'm prepared. But you know what? I have my clear goals, written goals. Where am I going in the next 6 months? Where am I going in the next quarter? Where am I going in the next 1 year? This is where I'm going. You need to set out your goals. You need to know exactly what you want for yourself. So if you don't know what you want for yourself, there's no way in the world you can create an effective action plan. What are you doing an action plan for? All right? I remember when I used to work in the bank and we have, KPIs and they're like, okay, what are your action plans? How do you intend to meet this target? That's it. You have a target. It's simple, and I think it's straightforward. It's straightforward enough for me, but a lot of people find it complicated. A lot of people find it hard. So I would say, what's your KPI? What's your, where are you going? Right? What is your goal? And then how do you intend to meet this goal that you have set for yourself? How to create an effective action plan. Are you someone that actually struggles on a normal day? Maybe you should start writing down your strategy. You should start writing down the list of things that you need to do step by step so that you can follow through like every single day, towards meeting or achieving your goal. So yes, you also need to set multi-dimensional goals, in every part of your life. We're talking about your health here, your career here, your finances here, your relationships here, even your personal and your professional developments, your community, and also spiritual growth. And I always say this, for me, I know for sure I have X number of books I want to read this year, and I'm working towards it. Last week I talked about having triggers. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. I just had a small. Hey, Sarah, thank you for joining in. I had a cough. So sorry about that. Yeah. So I talked about setting clear goals for yourself, knowing exactly where you want to go. For me, I talked last week. I talked about having triggers, setting triggers like things that helps you, things that when you see those things, those are triggers. I don't know why I'm coughing so bad. Sorry, give me a second. Okay, so you set those things around you to remind you of your goals or to just point to your direction, to point you towards that goal so that you will not forget. I'll give you an example. Thank you, Sarah. So if you tell yourself you want to work out, yeah, I'm trying to get, let me text my husband to, send water upstairs. Um, So, for instance, if you want to work out and you're always lazy about it, you can just put your workout clothes beside your bed so that when you wake up, depending on when you plan to, work out. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. So depending on when you plan to, if you plan to work out like first thing in the morning, you can have your shoes by your bed. You can have your clothes. Those are triggers, right? Those are things that will help you, to hit your fitness goals. For someone like me, I want to really hit my reading goals for this year. So guess what? I have created triggers. So I've been planning for the longest time to set up a reading pod for myself so that at a particular time of the day, every day, I go to the reading pod with the kids, of course, and then we read every day. So I've been working on that, and thankfully, it is finally coming to life. So set triggers, that will help you to hit your goals, right? So you should also, find something within your reach, something that will help you to also keep to your goal. So that's one way to ensure that you're able to make actionable plan. Yes, you're able to create an effective action plan. So yes, like I said, write down your goals. write it down because it takes less than 30 seconds to even for that idea to disappear from your memory. So write it down as quickly as possible. Sometimes even me, sometimes you're like, okay, I know what I want to do, but sometimes once you forget to write it down, you forget. That's it. It might take another long while for the thought to come back to your memory. And sometimes you also struggle and it never comes back. So when you actually write a goal down, it's like programming it into your own subconscious mind, and you begin to activate a whole series of mental power for yourself, right? And it helps you accomplish even much more than what you've ever dreamed of. So if there's something that you've always wanted to do, write it down. Like I say, when you write down your goals, when you write it down, you're already halfway there. Writing down your goals makes you kind of like halfway there. You can picture, yourself achieving those goals. Now, setting deadline for yourself is also very important. I mean, and I'll give you an example. Maybe you want to start a YouTube channel and you've said it for the past 10 years. People already started their channel and they've blown up in your very before in your presence, right? And you still want to start a YouTube channel, but you don't have a date in mind. Have a date. Set a date in mind. It's like, I want to start on the 1st of May, right? I need to start. By the time you're looking at the date, that date pushes you to work towards making that happen. So please, you should always have a date in mind. Have a date. If you really want to achieve your goals, then always have a date in mind. Have a date. Set a date. Your goals have to come with a date. If not, it's just a dream. It's just a dream. So always give it a date or a timeline. If I may say, if you can't give it a particular date, you can say okay, in the next 1 month, or you give it you can just say maybe end of April, right? Or beginning of May, or June 1st. You can put a date, or you can give it a timeline. So giving it a date actually goes a very long way in helping you make that dream come true, bring that dream to life. So please always and always, if you're someone that struggles, maybe creating or setting the dates, would help you achieve that goal. Now, like I said, make a comprehensive list. Yes, writing down your goals and also making a comprehensive list of what and what and what and what and what do you need to put in place to make these things happen. And also ask yourself, what are the things that you're likely to experience, any challenges that you're likely going to experience? How do you combat against it? What information, what skills do you need? What knowledge do you need? So, like I said, my goal is to read X number of books before this year runs out by God's grace. So like I said, I'm creating a reading pod for myself and the kids and the family, of course, so that we will make that goal come to pass. So if there's any skill, like for me, I want to learn, of course, I'm always learning every single day. So I want to learn a new skill, so if there's something that you need to get to that goal, which requires learning a new skill or taking a master class or even listening to podcasts that will help you, take your dreams from point A to point B, right? So what knowledge, what information, write those things out, write them down, make a comprehensive list. What what are the things that you need to put in place to make this thing happen? Now, what help do you need? What mentorship do you need? Write it down. See, you would find out that even successful people have mentors. Even successful people, they have mentors. So have a mentor. Thank you, Oseni. I appreciate you. So mentors are actually very, very important because they help take you from this level to the next level. I have a mentor. I think I mentioned it one time. Sarah was here. My mentor has snakes in his house. But no, he's not mentoring me for snakes. He's a business mentor. He has snakes, he has crocodiles, he has what else does he have? He has mountain lion. He has a mountain lion in his house. But of course, beyond having all of that, what exactly, what value are these people going to transfer to you? Are you trying to get from where you are to where they are, or where they have where they've been able to cross, the hurdles they have been able to cross? You see, I talked about the guy, very funny guy, so make sure that you have mentors, people that you can learn from, people that you can call anytime, you can reach out to them, you can send them emails, and even like I said, even if you can't reach out to these people, even if they are not reachable in quotes, you can read their books. If they have books, you can read. And if you're not planning of it right now, maybe you too should start, you should consider writing a book as well to also mentor other people. It's something I've been on, but I don't know why it's not big yet. When I'm ready, I know for sure I'm going to write my book. So get mentors. Yes, you can reach out to them, you can email them. You can email. People are always willing and ready to help other people, especially if you guys share the same values, you have the same, your work ethics are kind of like similar. Because for me, I've met a lot of people that will say, "Oh, come and mentor me," and then they ghost. When you tell them the kind of work that it entails, they run away. These are people that have not found their bearings yet. These are people who are not, they don't have great work ethics, right? And you literally don't share the same value. So when you're not on the same page, and these people disappear, they go stop, they don't even, they cut, they shortchange themselves. You are willing and ready to help them, but they are not willing to give it the work that it deserves. Now, when I met with my mentor, the last meeting we had, he talked about certain things that looked really hard and ridiculous. But guess what? I'm doing every single one of them now. Subconsciously, somehow, when I learn about new things, I am mentally, it may take a while, but I try to mentally get prepared, for what it takes to achieve those things. So when he mentioned those things, then I was like, wow, is it is it possible? And yes, somehow I was mentally getting prepared. And today I find out I'm doing every single one of them, every single strategy that he proposed to me. So find a mentor and be willing, be a teachable person. Some people actually, they like the idea of having mentors, but they are not ready to give it the work that it deserves. They just want to jump, they just want to blow up, from wherever they are to wherever, they see, whatever they see maybe online. We all see yesterday, I know you guys are aware that Obi Kubana, we're here, we see all these things on social media. He did his 50th birthday yesterday. But of course, a lot of people, they admire where he is today, but they are not willing to do what it takes to get to where he is. Talking about resilience, talking about, having self-discipline, talking about being self-motivated. A lot of people, they don't have it and they're not willing to have it. They just like the idea of success, but they're not willing to work towards being successful. So I was telling my sister a couple of days ago that success is not an accident. It's not, when you see success, it's not that it just jumped on their head. They were just lucky. No, they were not just lucky. They worked really hard for it. Sadly, last week, we lost the founder of the bank where I worked, PGD, Pascal Gabriel Dozier, of the founder of Diamond Bank. I mean, I read his biography, and I was shocked. I was like, wow, he's really, really, really dedicated. This is someone who has been able to bring his lifelong dreams to life. He was a lecturer at some point. He went back to, he did his first degree, second degree, and he achieved great things. He was an industrialist. He was someone that, looked at, it's not a joke, Sarah. It's not a joke. I was like, wow, so this guy has been through a lot, and he died a day before his 86th birthday. But I was like, if this guy can do it, I just saw a legend. I saw beyond, the founder of Diamond Bank at the time. I saw beyond that. By the time I read his biography, I was like, wow, this is massive. So he actually, I'm sure he had lots of mentors, and he had a mental picture of where he was going. This is someone that has always wanted, because he saw a need. He felt that a lot of, especially people from the eastern part of Nigeria, they were not being given equal opportunity to, get loans, to expand their businesses. And he decided to create that avenue for them. He got banking license, I think it was in 1991, if I'm not mistaken. And then he decided to start his bank, and he did amazing. He did amazing. When you have met with very, not high net worth people, very successful people, I'll say very, very successful people, they have something in common. They think like geniuses. They may be crazy, but trust me, there's something about them that is very, very on point. something about them that is missing in regular people. I'm saying this from experience because I worked with a boss that was, I was always like, how did this guy get this smart? They're always very, very smart. So yes, you should have a mental picture of where you're going, where you are headed to. And if you have mentors, you're looking, is it forward to this person? You're looking up to, someone. What are the things this person did? What are those things that they did to get to where they are today? Are you willing to make the sacrifice to do it? Are you willing to cut some of your sleep? Some people sleep like there's no tomorrow. Some people sleep like they're dragging with the spirit of death. So you need to also ask yourself, are you willing to do what it takes in terms of, of course, legitimately, are you willing to do what it takes to get you to where they are today? So you have to also ask yourself, and also, kind of like prepare yourself mentally, because it's not, see, the road is tough. The road is not a smooth one, and you have to be ready. It's like going into the desert without water for days. Are you sure you can survive it? That's almost exactly the way it is. If you're someone that really strives to be successful, then you have to develop resilience. You really, really have to. You have to ask yourself, listen to those hard truths. I don't know if you hear this woman speak, Ibukun Awoshika. She's the current CEO of First Bank, if I'm not mistaken. She's the CEO of First Bank Nigeria. Well, you need to hear her speak. She doesn't sugarcoat things. She tells you the way it is. So you need to ask yourself, are you willing to go through what it takes to be successful? Are you willing to endure sleepless nights? Are you willing to give up your food? Some people like to just eat. Are you willing to give up those times that you spend watching TV, whiling away your time and wasting your time away? Are you willing to give up those times to be successful? Thank you, Mrs. Mercy. Thank you so much for joining in. You're amazing. So you need to ask yourself, really, that am I willing to do what it takes, to get to this, from this point to that point? Because honestly, you need to make a comprehensive list of what exactly you need to take you from this point to this point. I'm sure the road is not that I'm sure the road is not smooth. It will not be smooth. It's not a course, but you have to be mentally prepared, to go through the routes. You need to be mentally prepared to go through what it takes. Now, next thing you need to do is to organize by priority and sequence. You need what is most important. I always look at what is most important, even in my scheme of activities every single day. I ask myself, what is more important? There are lots of things I need to do, but which one is the most important? The most important things take priority. They're the first set of things I get to do first in a day. And because I know myself very well, you need to also know yourself. You need to know your capabilities. What are your strengths and your weaknesses? For me, I know I have a peak period in the day every day. And I also have an off peak period every single day. So when is my peak period? My peak period starts and ends at 4 p.m. Anything from 4 p.m. I'm tired, right? And then I have to take a nap, wake up again, and start again. That's how I actually get 2 days in one. That's how I see it. I get 2 days. I am privileged to get 2 days in a day. Because once I take a nap and I wake up, I'm back at my peak period. I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me, obviously, definitely. So you need to organize by priority and sequence. For me, I choose to do the most important things, the things that take the most mental capacity. I want to do all those things before I do the least, kind of work, things that really, demand your mental, strength. So yes, you can also do the 80%, 80-20% rule. Do not forget that 80% of your results come from 20% of your actions. 80%. So what are those things that you do daily that contributes towards you meeting your goals? What are those? See, success is actually it's something that you do daily, and then you hit your goals. You do it daily. You don't just do it in one. You don't just wake up in the morning and, hey, I'm successful. No. You have to do it, sequentially. And you also need to create a daily, weekly, and also monthly plan. A monthly plan. So if you have a year goal, like a yearly goal or a year long goal, or let's say a 6 months goal, you need to create, a monthly plan for it, a weekly plan, and then a daily plan. What are the things that you need to do daily? What are the things that you want to achieve every week? So, what are the things that you should do daily to achieve your weekly goals? Now, your monthly goal, what are those things that you need to do weekly to be able to achieve your monthly goal? And I'll give you an example. So, for example, I have my marketing plans. Yes, so Oseni, me, thank you for joining in. So for me, for example, I have a monthly marketing plan for myself, one of which is hosting free training, events, networking, meetup. Is it meetup? Yeah, every month, and that way I'm able to generate add more lists, more people to my email list every single month. So these are things that I do. And I run campaigns for them every month. Before the end of the month, I already prepared for, and I've been doing this consistently for 3 years. Just certain things that when I say I do these things, and for how long I've been doing it, people are like, "How do you manage to add that to the things that you're doing?" I mean, it's God's grace, but you know what? You need to create a monthly plan. You need to know what are the things that you need to do monthly to be able to achieve your yearly goal. So like I said, these are success video of things that you do every single day, tiny bits of things that you do every single day to get to where you are actually headed to. So don't forget, you need to create a daily plan. Plan each month from the beginning of the month. I always say, don't plan it a month before. Plan. So I always plan for the next month from this month, right? My goal for this month, there's certain things I also set up, I automate, for the month. And it might interest you to know that some I know that sometimes I do the goals for the month in one day. I sit down in one, I'll give an example. I know it sounds kind of like big. So I sit down and I do everything I need to do for that month in one sitting. Yes, in one sitting. Sometimes I also work for 2 months. I do the work of 2 months in one day. Sometimes I do the work of 4 months in 2 days. Don't ask me about that one. I know it sounds crazy, but I do it. I do it anyways. And I also mentioned that I have a blog and I publish an article every single day, right? And I got someone to actually write my blog sometime last year. She was supposed to publish an article once every week, right? And she ended up publishing an article once every month. And I'm like, girl, I didn't know how to blog at the time. And I was like, I couldn't wait to learn how to do these things. And by the time I learned how to do it, I was blogging. I was writing an article on my blog every single day. How do I get that done? By doing it in one sitting. Yeah, I create articles for an entire month in one day. I do. And if I have to add something to it, maybe something happened along the month, along the line, then I can excuse me, I can publish more than one article in one day. Sometimes I do 2 articles in a day or 3 articles. But guess what? I schedule out, I create all the contents that will be on my blog for a whole month in one sitting. Oh, see you talking, you. You that you need to show us the way. Oh, show us the way. Hey, you that you just launched your new house. Oh yeah, make a video. Make a video. Show us house tour. Give us house tour. Thank you, sis. So I create content for a whole month in a sitting, in one sitting. And if I can do it, trust me, you can do it too. And it's just you just have to be mentally prepared for it. I'm not joking, no, we are waiting, no, Sarah Donald, we are waiting. So you can do it. And one thing I tell myself is, if I can do it, you too can do it. If this person can do it, then I can do it too, because I don't see myself different from this person. So yes, if it's something that you really want to do, it's just you might have to mentally prepare and then get it done. Get it done. For me, all I needed to know was just to know how to blog. I just needed to know how to blog, to be able to do it. And I remember I wanted to do it in 2016 when I was about to come and give birth in the United States. I remember 2016 was when Lina KG showcased her. She excuse me, she opened her mansion, in Ikoyi, 500 million. Everybody was like, wow, yay. On that same day, 30 million blogs were opened. On that same day, 30 million blogs, 30 million people. I'm telling. Oh, really? I need to go and check it out. I will check it tonight. By God's grace, I'll check it out. All right. So, On the same day that Nina KG told the world that she just bought a mansion, 500 million in Banana Island. 30 million people started their blogs. I honestly wanted to start a blog, but what I was working in the bank and I was pregnant, and at that time, oh my goodness, I was not myself. I had very big events. I couldn't go. I was not in a mental space. I don't know if you guys understand what I mean. I wasn't. I just wanted to just be my myself. I just wanted to just chill. I just didn't want any, And then after that time, I tried to, but there was just no way to learn at the time. But I mean, it's never too late. Like they always say, the best time to start anything was 10 years ago. The second best time to start it is now. So you're never late, Whenever you, and like, excuse me, like Sarah taught me, she said, whenever you wake up is your morning. Whenever you wake up is your morning. So the moment I woke up and I realized how to actually blog, I started publishing an article every single day. And in fact, I got all the for the where I hosted the blog, I got all the awards that was possible. Oh, fast rising star, the best blogger of the month, the this one, because it was consistent, every single day. And I even got to know that bigger blogs, there are blogs that make up as much as $250,000 every month. Blogs like wallet what? Something wallet. It's a finance blog, they're making like $250,000 every single month. Those ones publish articles multiple times in a day. But guess what? They have a team, they have like a whole company, yes, that run it. It's a Nerd Wallet. I don't even need to research because I go to all these blogs like a lot, especially when I was in grad school. It's Nerd Wallet. So you need to also, set out goals for yourself. Set out those things that you really, really, really want to do. Create a daily plan for yourself, create weekly plans, and of course your monthly plans. And like I mentioned earlier, you need to also set your daily priorities. Every single day, please make sure that you identify one most important goal for the day, one most important goal for the day. There are times that you have multiple things to do, but you have to, no matter how crazy things get, you have to just get yourself to the point. Just calm down first and ask yourself, which one is the most important thing here? Which one has to go? Like the show of this one has to go on. Otherwise, things will not go on. The rest of them can survive without, even if you don't do them. But what's that one thing that's going to affect your goal at the end of the month if you don't do it today? So please, you need to set your daily priorities. And you need to know what are those things, what are those, you can draw up your scale of preference. I studied economics, so I'm used to, making choice, opportunity cost, and all of that, so you need to set your daily priorities. What is that number one most important goal for the day? Try to work towards achieving them. I mean, ask yourself, if I can only do one thing on this list today, which of them would have the biggest impact? So ask yourself, if I can do one more, oh yeah, what would it be? So that's how you start to have your scale of preference. You have everything listed in order of importance, in order of priority. So you can label them. Maybe one is the one that has the highest priority, two second highest priority, and number three, until you have prioritized the top 20% of your tasks. So go ahead and organize your goals by order of priority, by order of importance, and then now you have your action plan. The next thing you should do is to now take action and begin to track your progress. Take action. When you've written down all these goals, these lofty, mighty goals, even when they look impossible, you need to also ask yourself, you need to ask, what have you done so far? Are these things just, are they just dragging? Ask yourself and see how much more things, you can do. And even if you're running out of time, it's okay. Even if you're running out of time, start to not, like I always say, even when you're crying, make sure that you're seeing. Even when you're confused, just calm down and ask yourself, chill, which one is the most, what can you now do? After all, you can't be crying over spilled milk. You can't, there's certain things that you have no control over, right? So the moment that you identify that this is what you need to do, thank you. Sorry, one second. The moment you identify the things that you ought to do, begin to do them. as quickly as possible. So go ahead and take action. Do something every single day that moves you closer to the things that you want to achieve. Do that one thing every single day. That one thing. What is that one thing that you need to do every day? And like I said, it doesn't have to be money. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't even have to be a job. It doesn't have to. But what is that one thing that helps you? It might be as little. Your goal may be as little as maybe losing 20 kg at the end of 6 months. What are the things that you need to do every single day to meet this goal? What are the things that you need to do every week? What do you expect at the end of 1 week to have achieved? What do you expect at the end of 1 month to have achieved? Now, what are the things you should do every single day to drive you towards meeting that goal? You need to constantly ask yourself that question and then follow through. Track your success. I mean, keep track of your progress. Make adjustments if you need to. It's okay, for everything not to work according to plan, but it's okay for you to also, stop and check, stop to assess, and look back. Like I always say, when you're working in the kitchen, maybe you're cooking, or so you look back to check if you have finished cleaning for real. So take your time to reassess. What have you done? Is there something you need to tweak along the line? Is there an adjustment you need to make? It's okay even if you have not been able to meet half or even a quarter of your goals, but don't wait for everything to be perfect. Go ahead and make adjustments and then start. So yes, your dreams are actually achievable, your goals are achievable. You can make actionable plans. You can make plans that are actually achievable. You can, by writing them down, by taking listing things in order of priority, by checking, checking to see if there's something that needs to be adjusted, checking to see if you truly have been able to achieve the goals that you set for yourself previously, if you have made progress, or if you have not even made any progress at all, or if you have even exceeded your own budget, or you've exceeded your own expectations. You need to also check so that you can make adjustments going forward. Sometimes our goals we need to add more to them. Sometimes they are too easy to accomplish. So if it's something that is too easy, you just 20 pounds. I've lost 20 pounds in already 2 weeks, or in three weeks, or in 2 months or something. If you've been able to achieve them, then you can increase it if you need to. So before we wrap up, here are some key things I need you to also take with you. The first thing is that your problem is to bridge the gap between where you are now and the goals that you intend to reach. How do you bridge that gap? You need to, that's the first thing. So over to you. What is one of your goals that you really want to achieve? Let me know in the comments if it's something that you are willing to share. If you're not willing to share, it's okay. So yes, write it down and make sure that you follow through. Because if you want your future, if you want to change your own future, please take action. And don't just take action, but take action now. Yes, if this video has been a blessing to you, please do well to subscribe to this channel in case you have not liked this video, and do well to also share with your friends. And if you need me to do a reset towards your specification, you want me to talk about a particular topic, of your choice, maybe a personal development topic, let me know in the comments as well. I'm more than happy to do that for you. Consistency. Oh, you are consistent now, Sarah. You now, you're the odogu. Yeah. So let me know, guys. Till I see you in my next video, take care of yourselves and bye for now. God bless you all. I need to go live in another group. Bye, guys.